Okay, so today I am making a video to basically test the coding abilities of common AI chatbots. So I'm going to be doing three tests. All are in the Clojure programming language, which I think is a good way to test the reasoning capabilities of these AIs, because Clojure is not a very popular language, so the AI will have to rely on its reasoning capabilities. I'm going to be testing ChatGPT 3.5, which is available for free, and also ChatGPT-4 and Claude 3 Opus, which people say is good for coding. And all three of these coding problems are ones that there are things that they were real examples of how I used the AI to help with coding in a recent project. So I just saved the questions so that I could do this demo. So anyway, so the first one is going to be we're basically just asking it to do something without giving it any code to read. The second test is going to be debugging some broken code, and the third one is going to be refactoring. So let's get into it. So our first question, I'm going to copy paste it in. So so we're using ChatGPT 3.5, which is the free version. So the question, write me a Ring middleware. So Ring is a popular Clojure library for handling the event loop for a request response cycle for web application. So yeah, we've asked it to, so that the middleware should perform a transformation. I've spelled that wrong. Not that the AI really cares much about spelling mistakes. So it's going to get something out of the request object. So Ring handles these request objects, which is basically a big map with lots of different keys. So it's going to find any of these keys within there, and it's going to transform the value of each using a conform to vector function. So let's see what it gives us. So we've got a very fast response, as is characteristic with GPT 3.5. So just from skim reading it, this looks like it. I mean, without reading it thoroughly, it looks correct. Let's see. So in order to actually test this, obviously I need the pertinent functions available. So just going to copy paste in my test code. So this is the conform to vector function we asked it to run. This is the test request map. And this is the handler, because middlewares always wrap handlers. So this handler is going to print out these keys so that we can see if it's worked or not. So let's, is there a copy button? Yeah. Oh, it's given us a whole bunch of stuff we don't want, hasn't it? Right. So do we have, yes we do. So I was already doing some testing earlier, that's what this is. So in fact, I'm going to restart the REPL. So I've got a fresh one. Cool. So let's run our test. So this doesn't appear to have worked. So So basically task ID, so basically we've got three numbers here. Task ID and habit ID should both be converted to vectors, which it looks like they have. But foobar is not there, so what's happened to that? I think it's possible that we've got a bad solution here. Let's in fact, it might be nicer rather than using type. We can just simplify this, right? Because print line should show it nicely anyway. Yeah, you see, so these have been put in vectors, but this one's been vanished. Can we see why that's happening? Yeah, so we're starting off with an empty. Yeah, the code is wrong. The code is wrong. Yeah, so the code is wrong because if it finds any keys that are not one of these, it doesn't add it into the request map. So yeah, GPT 3.5 has failed, although it made a good effort, and this could be easily fixed. Cool. So let's paste the same question into GPT-4. My prediction is it will succeed. GPT-4 is radically more powerful than... So again, it's giving us all this noise. I didn't ask it to write that. This is the only part I actually asked it to write. So just from a quick skim read, yeah, it looks vaguely feasible. This is right. Reevaluate the buffer. Bring up the command prompt. Yeah, this time it's worked. We've got 3 and 6 have both been put into vectors, and 4 has not, which is what we expect, right? Because task ID 3, habit ID 6, and foobar isn't one of the things it's replacing. So yes, this has succeeded. So 1 point for GPT-4. Cool, so Claude. So again, we copy the question in. Claude gives more concise responses, which I like. So I'm hoping we won't get all that, all the extra stuff that we didn't ask for. I think it's probably the slowest of the three. It's still giving us this whole explanation that we didn't ask for. But again, it looks right to me. Transform key. Reduce transform key. Oh, it's so this a transform key is called with 2 args but expects 1. Huh. Yeah, I think Claude has given us the invalid code. So transform key is a reducing function, right? Huh. Yeah, that's broken. That doesn't work. Just out, so 0 points for Claude, but we're going to click retry and see if it succeeds the second time round. I mean, I'll just show you what happens if we try and run this. I think it will just refuse. So it didn't refuse at that point. What happens if we actually... Yeah, see, we get an error message. Right, so let's see if it succeeds on the second attempt. Yeah, it hasn't done the same thing. This is slightly different. Yeah, I have to say it's a bit disappointing that it failed like that. Writing genuinely broken code. Reevaluate the whole buffer. Okay, it succeeded on the second attempt. Cool. So let's delete all this and move on to the second test. So this is a debugging one. So we're giving it some broken code and it has to figure out what's wrong with it. It's failed. So by the way, what's actually wrong with this code? You see FN here. So I was using FN to indicate a function, right? Because I forget what this function is. Given a vector of maps, a key and a function, transform the value of that key in each map. Yeah, anyway, so the problem is that Clojure already has a function called FN, so I've basically overridden one of Clojure's. Yeah, see, so what I've done here with FN is I'm trying to use Clojure's FN function, but I've overridden that that symbol here, so that's why it's broken. But the reason this is a good question is because the error message is misleading. This is the error message you actually get. In fact, maybe I should show you the... actually, I don't think I have a demo available for this one. But yeah, so it's failed to answer this correctly. Suggest symbols bar is not defined. Here's the corrected version of your code. Yeah, it's still broken in the same way. So 0 points for GPT 3.5. So it's immediately identified the issue. I'm shadowing the function. So you get 1 point for GPT-4. So let's make a new chat with Claude. We're using the good one. Has it got it wrong again? That's another failure. So 0 points for Claude. So I think at this point we're at what? I think GPT-4 has 2 points and both of the others have 0 points. Cool. So the last problem I want to test is a refactoring problem. So we're giving it some existing code and asking it to refactor it. In my opinion, this is quite a difficult one, so it'll be interesting to see what they can do with it. I'd be very surprised if GPT 3.5 can do this. So let's just read through it. So given this code, can you refactor it so that instead of using a let to capture the output, make some sort of enhanced case function that can do that part itself? So I'll just paste it into Emacs so you can actually see. That's not what yeah. In fact, what I'll do, I'll just demo this working, because this is working code. We're just asking it to refactor it. So we'll demo it working before. Yeah, so you see the input is these, and basically it's going to splice them in two. Yeah, and the output we expect to see is like this, because we've got habit, task, task, habit, 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 task, task, habit, habit. So basically, what we're asking it to do is, because this code here is a bit messy, so rather than using a let to capture the output of our parsing function, what I want it to do is basically make a clever equivalent of the case function that will just do that by itself. So all of this will be, this case will be replaced by a clever version of case. Cool, so let's see what 3.5 gives us. Okay, so it hasn't rewritten parse ID. Enhanced case function to handle dispatching based on keys and values. Sounds right. Apply handler. Thing and cases. Parse ID thing. This looks like it might even be correct. Okay, cool. Let's see. So it hasn't modified parse ID, has it? It's left that as it was. Good. So we just need to. I'll be impressed if this is right. So we're replacing just this, aren't we? So let's just paste in, delete that. Yeah, if GPT 3.5 succeeds at this, I'll be impressed. Unhandled exception. Don't know how to create a sequence from a keyword. Alright. Well, I guess that's a fail then. I'm impressed that it managed to write something that looked like it might do the trick. Just for my benefit, to make it easier for me to see what to. Oh no, hang on, that's not. Just for my benefit, so I can see where I'm replacing. Cool. So it was a failure, but it did surprisingly well. So GPT-4. I'm going to paste the question in again. Can directly parse and dispatch based on type. Yeah, sounds right. Does that look right? Get dispatch map type. Dispatch on type. Well, let's just try it and see. Cool, so it's worked, has it? Habit, task, habit. Cool, so we're on 3 points for GPT-4, are we? Cool. So let's see if Claude can do it. Claude 3 costs the same amount as ChatGPT Plus. So I'll be disappointed if it can't do any of these. Why is the formatting messed up? Here's the refactored code using an enhanced case function that captures the output of pass ID. On Claude, you can't copy paste until it finishes outputting. Right. Copy. And it worked. Cool. So, well, that's it. So the end result is, what was it? 0 points for GPT 3.5, 3 points for ChatGPT 4, and 1 point for Claude. Anyway, yeah, that's it. So I don't know what I can say further to that. It'll be interesting to see in a year's time, 2 years' time, what score we get on these. Although obviously ChatGPT 4 succeeded at all of them, so you know, when they release GPT-5, I won't have any way of comparing it. But yeah, that's that. Thanks for watching.